Hello and welcome to the Spanish News Network.
I'm Philip Freeman.
I'm Clark Ulmer.
I'm Perry Farrar.
And we're here to bring you the news.
Now today we'll be talking about the economy, which is important to everyone.
Literally everyone.
That it is.
Everyone.
Economics is a major policy area within the United States government. The economy is a central aspect of the United States, and economic policy created by the government can drastically affect all Americans in a magnitude of ways. Economic policy deals with policies that affect American money, businesses, and individual wealth. Economic policy affects everyone in America. Businesses, corporations, and individuals alike are all affected by the economic policy that is passed. Economics within the government stretch from national budgets to taxes on individuals and businesses to different acts and protections enacted by the government to affect a certain segment of the population.
These economic policies are both viewed as positive and negative, as they do put limits on what would have otherwise been a free capitalistic economy, but yet they generate revenue for the government to provide services and stimulate the economy, which is a good thing.
Yes, and also helps stimulate trade as well, which is good.
You are completely correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Now today on the show we'll be talking about the line item veto, NAFTA, and then taxes.
We got a great show lined up for you, so stick around after these commercial breaks. Back to the Spanish News Channel.
And now first we're going to have Perry Farrar talk to you about taxes.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Clark. Thank you, Philip. Perhaps the largest economic effects that the government creates is through the various taxes that they implement on corporations and individuals. Taxes on a national level include national income tax, business taxes, capital gains taxes, international trade taxes, just to name a few. Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution gives Congress the power to raise money to support the federal government, pay its debts, and pay for a national military force. Section 7 requires laws regarding revenue and expenditure to begin in the House of Representatives, so all tax bills must be introduced by a member of the House of Representatives. After the tax is passed by the House, it then moves to the Senate to be passed. If both houses pass the same tax, it moves on to the President, the leader of the executive branch, to sign off on the bill. The judicial system makes sure that the taxes are constitutional. The executive branch, including the Internal Revenue Service, helps to regulate and implement tax laws passed by the federal government. Back to you, Harry.
Yes, thank you, Perry.
And now we'll show you what happens if you don't pay your taxes.
And this is called tax fraud.
Hiring stuff.
Wow.
Wow.
Very intense, Federal Agent Blazer.
Yep.
All right, now we're going to Philip Freeman with the line item veto.
Oh, thank you, Perry. Thank you, Clark. Now it's time for the line item veto. This is a very important part of American politics because actually it is unconstitutional. In 1998, it was ruled in the case of Clinton versus the City of New York on a 6-3 decision that this would give the president too much power. Since the president was able to veto individual lines of bills that he did not like, this would ensure the passage of certain bills without certain things being in there. This took power away from Congress, and Congress already does not have enough power as it is in their minds.
Thank you, Philip. That was very insightful.
Very inspiring stuff.
And now we're going to go over to the President of the United States and his take on the line item veto. Heard he's pretty handsome.
Thank you, Mr. President. We really appreciate you all coming on the show.
Now we're going to go over to Clark Ulmer to hear about NAFTA.
Thank you, folks. Now, the federal government also creates programs that affect international economics and trade. One of the most prominent examples of this is the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA for short. This agreement promotes more international trade with some of our neighbors and largest trading partners, Canada and Mexico. Following diplomatic negotiations dating back to 1990, U.S. President George H.W. Bush, Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroy, and Mexican President Carlos Salinas, each responsible for spearheading and promoting the agreement, ceremonially signed on December 17, 1992. Now, this signed agreement then needed to be ratified by each nation's legislative or parliamentary branch to be put into effect. And since its entry into law, U.S. manufacturing exports to NAFTA have increased 258%, and the United States maintains a growing manufacturing trade surplus with Canada and Mexico. American exports of computer and electronic products, furniture, paper, and fabricated materials have all more than tripled since NAFTA started. Now, major proponents of NAFTA are large corporations who seek a wider range of trade options, while opponents fear it will cause too much job competition, lowering wages, and employee treatment. Now, back to you, Phil. And
Thank you for joining us on the Spanish News Channel.
Yes, thank you for all of our guests out there for listening to all of our good and exciting news stories.
We hope this is informative and very fun to watch.
We appreciate you.
Catch us next time on the Spanish News Network. And I'm Philip Freeman.
And I'm Clark Ulmer,
I'm Perry Farrar.
and have a nice night and day.
Okay.